Hey, what's happening? It's your boy Nicholas Soul with Renaissance Certified, and today I have here with me.
Hey, Kelly2face, we in here.
Yes, sir. And he actually mentioned to me before we started recording that this is his my first Nashville interview with you, or
I guess I actually my first. It just be my first national interview in general.
right?
Because I feel like I had one other interview with my homie Jalen with the Just Music podcast, but that's back in NC. So like here, I haven't done an interview yet with anybody about like what I've been doing. So
Yes, sir.
yeah.
Well, that's fire, first of all. So we get the exclusive. Renaissance Certified, you did. But secondly, I wanted to talk to you, bro, because so much has happened in the time that I originally wanted to sit down with you. To now, like with like the tape and y'all been going crazy with FYRE. So I just wanted to get like your take on kind of the journey that you've been going through. But first, let the people know like who is Kelly2face type shit.
Nah, it's Kelly2face, aka the two and only, aka say the intellectual ambassador, aka Mr. Kelly D. We're not gonna say his name no more. Anyway, it's 2025, man. We doing different. Well, yeah, I'm from Florence, SC, the 843, Flow Town. Home of some, well, not I wouldn't say the home of some crazy people, but like some people have been in and out of the city that have been really cool. Like you got people like Zion Williamson. You got people like YBN Corday actually. Corday actually, his brother actually goes to like one of the schools in my city. You got some other old people like Harry Carson, who's like a Hall of Famer in the NFL, like stuff like that. But it's really not that many people. You know what I'm saying? Like so I'm coming straight out of there. I originally moved up here for school and just decided to stay because I just wanted just to escape like complacency.
Right.
And here we are. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's me.
For sure. Well, thank you for coming on to the show, man. Yeah, so like I was saying earlier, I really wanted to talk about like the Campfire Volume 1 tape and like the process of the creation of that, bro. So first, before we get into the creation, what inspired like the team to get together? Because I know y'all are like a whole collective.
Oh yeah. So I guess so. Like I said before, I came out here for school and I went to Belmont University, which is like well, now that I look back on it, like that was such a crazy move to do, like because like Belmont's not really like a school that you go to like do stuff like that. A lot of times, a lot of the musicians in there are either already have deals going into it, or they about to get a deal coming out of it, or they got something going on, or they got a lot of things lined up, or they just going into the business. It's more places like MTSU that have a lot of the super creatives that come out that have those big collectives or have those monster songs or monster beats. Yeah, like the Tay Keys, the Isaiah Rashads. Oh yeah, he went to MT, but he dropped out. And right after he dropped out, I think he ended up signing to TDE right after. Yeah. So I don't think he completed it, but did he need to? You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, nah. So when I went to Belmont, I just knew that I wanted to escape SC. I just felt like I was feeling a lot of complacency. Even when I was up here in Nashville and I was going back and forth, I would just always feel like I was losing momentum. And like my sophomore year, really my freshman year, I had met everybody. Like obviously like Simba Sid, like she's like one of like probably like one of the main artists we work with along with like Matt Betts. Exactly where you met Simba? So it's funny, Sid, we actually met cause we used supposed to be a part of BSA, which is like the Black Student Association. So I would just see her at meetings and stuff like that. She always be with the homies, especially in her like cohort. And I would just see her around. I would just see her around all the time. But it wasn't until maybe when we had this open mic that one of my RAs was throwing, where she was there. Another one of our past collective members was there. Some other people, even Matt, I believe, was there actually rapping too. So like it was like there were a bunch of people there at that. Like it was a very historical place. Like especially if we really blow up, that's gonna be a very historical moment for all of us because everybody was slick. Like it was like literally the like most authentic place for us to like recognize that we all do music or all interested in music because Sid just happened to be there, but she was all in her own space with like a couple other girls over there, like just chilling. Me, I was just there by myself, just peeping. That was just me. And it wasn't and then Matt was actually supposed to be there at the Cypher to rap. It was supposed to be him and our other soon to be roommate Andre. We were all supposed to be like just they were supposed to just be doing some rap stuff like with my like and it wasn't until I got up because I just wanted to just test out beats because at this point I'd barely been making beats like probably like consistently like on Logic, like really doing it seriously, probably like 3, 4, 5 months for real.
Oh shit, this is like
Yeah, because like to me, I didn't start like because I've been making beats since like 8th grade, but I was just putting like loops together on like GarageBand, doing stuff like that. But it wasn't until I actually started getting on like Logic was like 2 weeks before I moved out to Nashville, because that's when I finally had like the money to get Logic and a new Mac. So I was like, okay, cool. So when I got that, so yeah, so I just wanted to test it out. Cause I made like, this crazy like sample chop with this Korean EDM pop song, and I just chopped it up and made like this trap beat. And I just wanted to see how like people rock with it and see if it's good. So I asked like my homie who was obviously the RA, like, or one of them at least. I was like, hey, you mind if I just play this beat, just test out people's ear while y'all transition into the cipher? Because they're about to do a cipher, and they were playing it. And everybody was rocking with the beat. Like, everybody was rocking with it, and even he was like, oh, hey, this shit hard. Like we were just gonna use a YouTube beat, but we about to use this. So then it ended up everybody actually ended up rapping on the beat. Yes, they ended up rapping on the beat. Yeah, bro, like they ended up rapping on the beat. And what's crazy about it is like I'm talking about everybody, even like this. I remember I actually saw him the other day at home because he works at Hawkers, but even the cameraman that was there was also rapping on the beat. Like, I was like, hey, it was crazy. He started freestyling too. I was like, bro, what the world? Like, I was like, it was crazy. But like, yeah, but that was like the first time I remember Sid, I think, consciously knew that I made music. And I didn't know that she made music. I just knew that she probably been interested in it or been hip to like know like, oh, we can pull it certain places.
Right.
And that was also the first time I think I also got to know that Matt made music. So then fast forward, the first person I actually ended up making a song with was not even Sid. It was actually this other girl named Carmen. Shout out to Carmen. She actually got engaged. Shout out to her. Yeah. She was one of the first people I did. That first song I ever dropped was with her. And her and Matt were the ones that kind of first approached me. I'm like, oh yeah, I recognize you did music. I didn't know you did music. Like, yeah, we gotta like talk eventually. Like, I'm like, okay, yeah, for sure. Yeah. It wasn't until my sophomore year, like at the beginning, when like Sid like caught me like walking back to my dorm, because my dorm was far in the back. And she was like, hey, you make music, right? And I was like, yeah, for sure. So she was like, yeah, I'm really getting interested. I really want to try it out. Can like you maybe help me out? I'm like, I'll try. So then it ended up like making our first song. It had like 10 people on it. Like not even rapping, just talking. Like just like, and from there, like it just took off. And then that same spot, me and Matt made his first song, at least with me, made his first song. So like, yeah, it was up from there. Like that spot where me and Matt used to live together. We made all the shit. Like her first tape was all made in there. Matt's first single with me was made in there. Yeah, a lot of legendary stuff in that room, man. A lot of legendary parties, a lot of legendary things.
It's very apparent on listening to the tape that y'all have synergy, and like y'all like understand each other and like who should go here. And I don't know how many people are a part of like the immediate FYRE collective, because I've seen you, Simba, Matt. I don't know who else.
I would say yeah. So, in my opinion, who's a part of FYRE right now, personally, it's just 5, like a collective 5. Really, I would say, some would say 4, but I really think it's 5. I like to include her because she's really a big part of like whatever we do. But it's really me, Sid, Matt. David, he's my manager. He does like great job and everything. So like, you know, and I know y'all probably like, who is he pointing to? He's behind the camera. But you know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, he's part of things. And then also Sid and Matt's manager is the same person. Sydney, like she does a great job. Like she's the reason why Sid does a lot of these crazy shows and does a lot of crazy things and really tries to like really push them forward. And I'm really excited to see what in fact, shout out Sydney. And I'm really excited to see what she does with Matt too, because like Matt has a lot of great content. So I feel like it's only up. So yeah, now that's who I feel like it's a part of FYRE right now. Yeah. But there's a lot of affiliates, and the way I want to take FE for real, I want to like really do something that's more than just trying to make like this immediate click, like kind of how ASAP was at one point. Like I don't want to really do it just like that. Like I want to do it a little different. So my vision for it is kind of to use kind of like a mix of a lot of different collectives together, like mixing like what Wu-Tang did, but mixing with what FYRE did, but also with what ASAP did, with also what Odd Future did, like, but more importantly, like really structuring around all of those inspirations combined with like a Griselda business model. Like that's what I really want to do it, because if you look at Griselda, like they had like their main 3 guys, but if you really look at like that Buffalo rap like scene, like the umbrella on that is like insane. Like there are more rappers that are connected to that, even from other states now, that are connected to that movement, just off the fact of Westside being like, well, nah, like come in here, we'll do a tape, I'll curate all the things. I don't have to make any beats. I just tell you what beats I know you would sound good on, and then we're gonna make a tape like that and drop it. And like, and he has people from like Massachusetts, Detroit, but like Bodie James, people even from like other parts of New York, like New York City. Oh, see, like Makami, like even Makami is one of my favorites, and like and Pray for Paris is like one of my favorites, and it's like seeing that like all those people all have one project deals. Like it's not like they're like he's going there and being like you're signed like exclusively. No, the only people who are exclusively signed to him are Armani Caesar. It was, I think, at one point Conway and Benny, and I think maybe Stove God Cooks. That's it. You know what I'm saying? But he's had so many other tapes like with Makami, Bodie James. He had a thing with Rome Streets that's really good with the conductor who's doing all these crazy beats with like, you know what I'm saying, with like Drake and Joey just dropped that thing. Like, so like it's like that, and then
I didn't realize how many people was you're lucky opening.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Like it's like the umbrella is huge, but all from just doing one thing. Just doing one thing or just doing one thing that becomes a moment. Like, and to me, I feel like the city, what we have here in the city, we could easily do that same thing with the amount of crazy producers. Like the only person I feel like who's really taking advantage of the opportunity for real, in my opinion, is Carmine Prophet. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just me just peeping. Like, it's not even, I'm not even like, I wouldn't say I'm even as cool with Carmine. I think we've had like talk, I've conversated like that and stuff.
Yeah,
but like,
you just respect
but just because peeping, like if you see like he did the thing with Ja, he did the thing with Brian, like he's done. I thought he did something with Andre Wolf, but I think not. But even then, he might have done something on that. But like even how he approaches that, like that's how the business is moving.
Yeah, I've seen his name on a lot of like local artists. So I can definitely attest to the fact that bro's putting in work.
It's real, and that's why to me I'm like, nah, that's how I want to really take it. Because to me personally, like there are a lot of artists that are in the city, but nobody's really working with one exclusive person to make like an exclusive movement. Like no one's doing that. Like to me personally, and to me, I can say this because I know that like my vision is my vision, and if anybody wants to steal it, they gotta try to copy it the way that I'm gonna do it.
But they can't.
I was just having this conversation with Diamond Store. We were talking about beats, and he was like, yeah, like I can give you all my drum sounds and like not gatekeep, and you still would make a way different beat than I would. Not saying it'd be better or not as good, it would just be different because your mindset is just different compared to mine. So yeah, so when it comes to like FE, like I really want to take it in a way where I'm really trying to like hone in on the underground. I'm not trying to go out to too many placements. I'm just trying to just make sure I work with people, come to the crib, we lock in. It's not even about like, oh yeah, let me charge you this, nah, let's just lock in, do this, because we all are starting from square one. We literally all are like, there are a lot of people who are at a, like they claim they're at square two, but they're really not at square two. We all are at square one right now. And I feel like once we do that, I feel like that's what's really gonna be like more impactful. Hopefully it takes off. If it doesn't take off, then we still have to be able to say like, hey, we put that work in to do that.
What at this point then, because before we get into the album questions, like I want to ask like what matters to you like in the end, like because you're kind of speaking to that in the sense of like even if we don't get like to necessarily where we want to go, it's still just like the putting in the work effort, and then just looking back and being like, nah, I actually at least attempted to go after my dreams. You know what I mean?
I would say to me personally, like my whole goal in the end of this is to be two things. It's either one, to be a touring act. I feel like the way I've been thinking about music recently, like I feel like the only reason why I've even stayed in just like trying to like think about making music myself for so long is because like I really like performing. Like I really like performing. I really love the energy it brings. I was actually supposed to perform today, but like because of all the snow and stuff, it got canceled. But yeah, like, but I really want to do that, and then I also want to just become like an executive producer. Like, I want to just become someone who, wow, and there's not that many good examples right now. But as I was like, oh my god, I was like, oof, man, yeah, just like let's just bypass that. But it's like I just want to be on the type of timing where I know that I'm linked with somebody, we're getting together, and we're really just trying to just curate something that's really great, like something that's just a moment. I'm not even worried about if it's gonna sell like over this amount. Like, we can worry about that later. I feel like the things that really sell the most are things that are impactful. And to me personally, like there are these independent guys, like even a part of that Griselda umbrella, that are making millions of dollars, but just by themselves. Like, you know what I mean? Because they're selling it wholesale. They're not having to worry about going through streams and all that different stuff.
I mean, that's a great business model. Like with the whole Bandcamp situation.
Exactly. And what's crazy is a lot of them have that. A lot of them are try to go after that, but they also know that a lot of them now have to bypass that because they're trying to get mass appeal a little bit more. But at the same time, a lot of them will have it on there and then drop it on streaming and get the mass appeal.
Right.
So it's like, so that's what I'm saying. To me, I just want to get to a point where I'm being someone that people rely on for not only advice, but a way just to like jumpstart like their movement, or have like at least have a moment out of all their discography, have like a real moment outside of their breakout, or if that is their breakout.
Right, like whenever you. All right, bet. So yeah, can you talk a little bit about just the process of making Campfire and all the decision making and all the different, this person should go here or this person should be in the studio, those kind of thoughts that you had?
Okay, yeah, for sure. I'll definitely get that because it's way more simpler than I think that anyone would think. I think the process, the post-production process, I think was probably the more complicated part of it. But really, honestly, so the way it started was, well, to even explain the name, the reason why I named it Campfire is because I made it at the Camp 3 writing camp. Shout out Jack for doing it. One of the best local projects in 2024, by the way. I definitely stand by that.
No, right.
And to me, it was one of the things that I would just go to because realistically, like my first one I ever went to was at his house. And to me at the time, I was really kind of in like a funk.
What year was it?
This is probably like right at the end of 2022.
Okay, for sure.
Right at the end, like probably like August.
Okay.
August 20. I remember, like, I think my dad's birthday was that weekend too, so it was right at August.
Yeah.
And I remember I remember I went through there and I was kind of still in the funk, but I was like, you know what? Shout out 98 Hughes. He actually invited me. And
Brandon?
Yes, Brandon. Yeah, shout out him, bro. Like, bro, he's so cold, bro. He's so cool, man. I hope he sees this too.
Right.
But he actually invited me, and when I went there, I didn't know what to expect. I just was like, okay, like, do I need to have anything prepared? I need to have some beats on my laptop ready to go. Right. And I went in there, and I think I made everything organically. I don't think I even used anything I ever used. Like, I brought with me. Like, I probably wrote like 7 verses, made 2 beats and recorded
like that night.
Song.
Like that night.
Just that whole weekend.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Like the whole weekend, I probably did like 7 verses. I did like 2 beats that I produced, that I co-produced, and then I recorded a song. This song I recorded with like 7 people on it that didn't actually make the tape. It was in the running, but they didn't make it because there wasn't enough verse clearances. Like, there were people who were like changing up their brand, and people who just were like, "Hey, bro, this song way too old." I feel like I even make better stuff than that now. I'm not gonna co-sign it, which I still respected it. I still rock with whoever these people are. Like, I'm not saying that as a bad thing because we had plenty of songs. And we actually, what's funny about that, and we can get into that later, but Bento Box was the replacement actually for that. But yeah. So, but anyway, so it started out like where I went there, and I remember I came back because I left my interface there by accident. Yeah. And I remember I went back to Jack's house, and we kind of just had a heart-to-heart. He was like, Kelly, like, when I first met you as kind of just a rapper, which a lot of people, it's funny because I had the same conversation because some people meet me as a producer, and some people meet me as a rapper.
That, bro. Like,
I just do it.
I'm a producer.
I just say I do a lot. That's not like, because if I told you like really all I've done so far, like my list of like little like superlatives or whatever, like that thing would like, it's like 5-6 things long. But yeah, like I literally was talking to him. He's like, "Yeah, I met you as a rapper. I didn't know you did everything. I didn't know you produced all this stuff. I didn't know you produced. I didn't know you could record. I didn't know you could do all of that." And I was like, "Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I like my trade. Like, we went to, because me and Jack went to the same school. I'm like, yeah, my trade was in the same degree you got. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I do all of this." He's like, "Nah, bro." And I was trying to talk to him because I was, like I said, I was kind of thinking about actually quitting music actually, like for a little minute, or just like taking some time to like get life together. And he was like, "Nah, bro, like I've seen like you rap, I saw everything, and there was nothing I did not like. I feel like you just gotta keep doing you. Just do you and just be good about it." Yeah, exactly. Just do you and do the best of your ability because you have a lot more to offer than you think. And that conversation like changed my outlook on everything. And because of that, I was like, I'm telling you, like Jack, that's why I support the camp to this day, because without that conversation, I still wouldn't have even been the person that comes in there and have songs that are like in the top 10 of like pickings, or like even like doing like some monumental records with like a bunch of different people at the same time that everybody's watching, or everybody's like, wow, that clip did really well, like, oh, that's really great, or like, whoa, like what are they doing, like, so yeah, so shout out to Jack. But yeah, so ever since then I would just go to the camps, and I would just, and because the camps are so organic and they're not like other writing camps where you have to go and like maybe have like a cue sheet, or maybe you're writing for somebody in particular. It's just based on like the people who are there. Like we want you, exactly, like we want you to make your music, make what you want, and that's literally what he promotes. So for me, every time I go there, I would just make something new. And there was even one time I remember when he had the sessions in Hendersonville. I went there, and I think for 36 hours straight, I made like 7 songs in the same room. It was so funny because I think in the deep down, he wanted to tell me to leave, but like, or not even not even leave, but like, hey, switch up the room, give everybody space. But everybody was rocking with it so much that literally I had to like he just couldn't tell me. Like he could, like he literally was,
the energy, even the piece of energy is like, all right,
even the studio owner was like, who is that has it been in Studio B all the whole time, and like it has the room packed every single time. Like I made 7 songs straight, and only I think 3 or 4 of them, I think maybe 5, no, 3 or 4 I think actually made the actual camp tape, because there's one else was to go for another album for another artist, shout out Nick Antoine, and there was I think another one that just didn't make it because it just wasn't like out of all of them, it was like low on the total poll for everything else, but it was still a good song.
Do you feel like you're in like flow state?
Like just in general?
Yeah, no, like during that 7 song like creation process.
To me, like I don't know what it is, but to me, I feel like pressure makes diamonds for me sometimes. Like whole time, like when I was in there, I was just locked in. Like that was probably the most locked in I've ever been, ever. Damn. Like where I felt like I was like, yo, I'm snapping every single time, and I still feel like the things that I still literally like Curry 8 for 8. Like it's like I was just like, oh shoot, like what's going on right now? And to me, like you could tell, like and I think that it made it even crazier the fact that everybody else noticed that, and they were like, let's not stop him. He's coming here. I'm talking about, I'm the first one there in the studio every day. Like before everybody else, that the new guys that caught wind of that, I was the first person doing that. Coming to the studio at like 11:30, 11:45, just to get my room and set up, do everything, and just get started when people walk in. And it's like boom, go. So yeah, so that's how it really started.
What gives you that, like just being like, nah, I'm gonna pull up? Like what do you think like is made in you that like gives you that?
So I think by this point, like by that point when I had done that, I've been to 2 camps prior to that. And just being in that space, being that energy and being around that, because I think at the end of the second one I went to, that's when I really felt that feeling, because I was in that same room. And I just got to that room late in the weekend. I was probably like that Saturday I got to be in that room, and then Sunday I had to end up going to St. Louis for some work stuff. And I just remember being like, nah, next time I come here, I'm gonna be in that room, because I made 2 bangers back to back. I gotta keep going. And then like Law and Order was made that, not that in that flow state, but the one before the flow state. So like yeah. So like when I made that one, I was like, oh nah, yeah, I gotta go back to that room. So then when I went back, I was determined. I was hungry. I was like, yeah, nah, I gotta go do that again, and like just spam. And yeah, it was crazy.
I also want to ask you about just the greater Nashville community, and what I mean by that is like you work with a lot of people in the community on FYRE, and I also like seen you at FYRE Shoes Off, like listening parties. So how important is it to you to like just tap in with like the Nashville community and just the scene, bro, and like finding different people?
No, for sure. Also, shout out to Pimp too, like for dropping this project. He just dropped this project this year. I think I had 2 credits. There were 3 credits I was up for, but I think the rock one I did, I don't think that one. I can't remember that one. I don't know. I actually haven't got a chance to actually listen to all the way through yet, but yeah, but shout out to him for doing that, because like to me, like it's like tapes, like I feel like Campfire inspired tapes like that, like, which I don't know, it's like a direct inspiration. I'm not saying like he was like, oh, I heard Campfire, and I'm like, I want to go make my. No, I think but even like the feeling,
the energy,
and then even the feeling he got from even the camp, because he got the same energy from the camps too, like I did. He just wanted to do it outside of the camp, because he just had like a better
it's like a passage of torch. It's like you got yours from Camp 3, and then he got, you know what I mean?
He got his, and not even that, he got his from Camp 3 too. And I think when he saw that I was doing mine, he was like, okay, cool. So there's someone else who's also doing something similar. So I know that I'm doing something that people are thinking about as well. And he did it in a different way, because there are a lot of people who didn't end up going into camps until later or stuff like that are actually on that now. And I'm like, yeah, nah, like, and a lot of the people he even met was from the camps. So like, but yeah, when it comes to national community, to me, coming from where I come from, like the reason why I wanted to leave so much because I knew I wanted to be in the space in some way, but I knew that if I stayed at SC, it wasn't going to be like that because they don't have that camaraderie for real. Like nobody does. Like in any of the subgenres, especially in hip hop, they don't have that, and it's evident because even the people who are doing really well in the state, like a lot of people in the world don't know them or like don't know of them yet, and they have songs that like are up on Apple's like just released or like you know what I mean, but like they're not people that are like, oh yeah, they're that's SC right there, he's putting SC on the map. It's like you know what I mean, like there's no like I think Jetson's probably the only person right now that like put on, but he's been very silent for like the last like 3-4 years. So like it's kind of like him just doing his own thing, maybe even doing some underground stuff. But it's just like for me, because I saw that, I wanted to come out here and instantly, like as soon as I got out here, I was on that type of time. I was on that type of time like I want to be more in a space where everyone is coming together to do something like and do it well. And like even Jack, when we were talking to Jack, he was talking about how like even in Nashville there have been many cliques and groups that have started, but a lot of them have, because they've been cliques, it's why they've died or like why they don't exist. And I'm talking about people who are like heavy hitters. Like there are some heavy hitting groups that have come through Nashville that have disbanded. And it's like, whoa, it's like, don't y'all realize like y'all could be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like so
there's a lot of dope people in the city.
Facts. And that's why to me, like when I saw that, I was when I saw that coming up, I was like, or even like just going to shows and like peeping certain stuff, I was like, okay, yeah, nah, like there's got to be a better way to do this and a better way for everyone to recognize that this is being done so that everybody feels accepted by this, because it's more than just a group, it's a movement. Like because like that's what really does it. Like I tell people all the time, like movements make moments, and like and to me
that's how I feel about like the SoundCloud era, bro. It wasn't just like one person.
Exactly. It was a collection of people who decided to do the same thing and make a movement. They didn't even have to even know each other like that for real. But because they were all in the same type of timing, it worked for them. And even if the music was garbage, it still worked for them. You know what I'm saying? Like
sometimes like it's a feeling thing too. I think people underrate like the social aspect of music too, where it's like you could go to a concert, like I've gone to festivals where I don't even necessarily like the person up on the stage, I'm just with the homies, but everybody's energy, like turning up to the songs and stuff, it's just like it brings me to it. It's like oh shit, like I feel what y'all feel. So I feel like that's like how movements like kind of come together, is like people feel the energy of the movement.
This where we at right now, it's wide open, but it needs a superstar, someone who every time they perform, everybody leaves that mug like, wow, I feel like I went to like a concert at like Marathon, but I was just at the East Room, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what I feel like needs to happen first, and when that happens, it's over.
Hey, man, bro, thank you, bro.
Of course, bro.
Thank you for joining the kickback, man. I don't even know what I call these. So shit, but thank you for being here, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Sorry, shit, for real. Nah, I really appreciate like just your insight on the tape, bro, and the greater Nashville community. I'm gonna let you drop your socials and everything that you got going, upcoming projects or anything like that, and then we outie.
Yeah, so I was really just Kelly2face on Instagram right now. Like I feel like that's the like, especially with it all like imploding as we speak, that's the only thing I've really been on for real social media wise. You know what I'm saying? So Kelly2face on Instagram, and also like the FYRE page, like FYRE ENT, I believe it is now. So yeah, like follow that to see like everybody, like you know what I'm saying. I got a bunch of different projects coming up. I have a project with Simba Sid. Obviously, we're trying to get that finished. I'm trying to also finish up, like I said, Matt Best. He's coming out with his second project. And this one, like the first one was only me. I only did like maybe like 2 beats on it. Like this one, I'm doing like everything. So that's coming up. You know what I'm saying? Like literally. Cause Sid too, like Sid, I think maybe I've done like maybe 85% of hers. Like there's probably like 2 beats on there that a little more alternative, a little bit different, that this 2 produced. Shout out to him. And yeah, so I've been really doing that. And I have a project with Israel and Naor on the way. There's some other people that I'm in like really like. I'm actually this year I told myself I'm gonna help a lot of people just to like start seeing like who could be like good to like do a whole project with, and who could be doing this, that, and the third. So yeah, shoot, look, like I said, to me personally, look, nobody artist is safe. But no, I'm playing. But anyway, but shout out to you, man. Appreciate it. Like I said, first national interview, bro.
Yes, sir. Renaissance certified. We out.